Hello again. So it's time for another Bloodstorm tournament in Eindhoven, the Netherlands. It's Age of Sigmar version 4. I'm gonna play with my Stormcast again, and I thought I would do a quick video on what this is gonna look like for me, how I prepare for the tournament, where it's gonna be, etc. Just to give you guys a little bit more insight into what tournaments are like in the Netherlands, I guess. I'll also try to do some after battle reports videos, but we'll get to that later once the event has passed. So the event itself, it's a Bloodstorm event. This means that there is a certain organization in the Netherlands that organizes this type of events. It's going to be held in Wijkcentrum De Mortel in Eindhoven. For those who do not know where this is beautiful Eindhoven. So this is De Mortel, the community center basically. It's quite a funny place because they have like an elderly association, I believe, where they do bridge and other kinds of games. They have a sports venue in the back, and then here in the front is a hall in which we are able to play our beautiful game. Obviously, it's the Netherlands, so as you might have seen, there's already people on bikes on Google Maps. I find it quite funny that the first thing I saw on Google Maps trying to show you this place was people on bikes. So the rules pack itself, 2,000 points as usual. It's a one-dayer, so it's 3 games, and then otherwise. I don't know if this is a general rule set internationally as well, but army lists are going to be sent to an email address, painting and modeling. So what you often see in the Netherlands, I think, is that people expect you to do some effort into painting, but as said here, you should be painted and it should be based with a 3-color minimum. If you do, then you get 20 points. If you don't, you get 0 points. So it's a very low entry barrier, basically. Like, basically, don't bring unpainted stuff. That's okay. But 3 colors minimum is quite doable. Then Best Army, Best Player Choice Award, Most Supporting Player Award. It's a bit of a more important one. Filter Batters, scoring. So we are going to play Scorched Earth, Battle for the Past, shifting objectives, which is quite a fun set of different things. Like Scorched Earth is the one battle plan with a lot of objectives, so that really favors having a lot of mobility or multiple units in your army. So if you have an army with only like 3-4 units, 1 drops, they're a bit discouraged with this map. Battle for the Past, on the other hand, is a very centralized battle plan, I find, where you play on over the length of the table, which already makes the table way less wide, so you have less mobility there. Then again, for Stormcast, this is quite nice because you can always drop in the back line of the opponent, whilst you are usually quite able to defend your own backfield objective. And then shifting objectives, it's kind of similar to Battle for the Past in my view, but maybe people don't agree with me here. If you don't, please let me know why it is so much different than Battle for the Past. Well, the only real difference that is really striking to me is that take the flanks is nearly impossible on Battle for the Past, whereas on shifting objectives it's quite easy. We are gonna use best BCP with a scoring chart. I think this is quite general. So this is based on the difference in points rather than the actual scores that you bring to the end of the game. Can bring a chess clock if you want, but it's not necessary. And then we have some sponsors. Threshold Tactics is one of the biggest YouTube channels of the Netherlands. I think the biggest. Then the organizer has his own painting commission service, and then there's still some other stuff. So yeah, that is the field of battle. This is going to be my list. So what do I have in my list? I didn't get a screenshot of a list printed out, but I have my Celestin Prime. It's going to be my general. He will be leading my general's regiment. with the Vanguard Paladors, with Star Strike Javelins. These are very hot right now, but they recently just got a 20-point bump in cost, so they're a bit more expensive now. I do have my Reclusions that have been newly painted, together with the Lord Terminals. I did a bit of conversion work there with 2 head swaps to make the unit a bit more unique. And then further in the General's Regiment, I still have obviously Vanguard Raptors with long strike crossbows. That also got a 20-point price increase. So for this unit, it's a 40-point more expensive unit than before the last patch. On the other hand, I do have a Knight Arcanum in my 2nd regiment with 2 units of Quaestor Soulsworn, and they both got 10-point discounts. So in the end, I will be at 90-50 points for giving me an extra command point in the first turn of the game. So that's something, I guess. Yeah, so I am expanding my collection a bit. I'll just have a look at all of the different units. So this is 1 unit of Quaestor Soulsworn. I know that officially there's different models for this. However, I don't use any units that you could really confuse these guys with. And it's nice to have 2 different looking units for the 2 different units of Soulsworn. So this is my hammer based unit basically, and these are my Praetors that are usually Praetors. They have halberds, all of them. I don't have Praetors in my list, so there cannot be any confusion there. And then we have the Reclusions with the Lord Terminals. So as you can see, I didn't really like the head on the Lord Terminals in the kit, so I replaced it for actually a State Militia head. This is one of the most charismatic Empire models, I think. Like just the old bald guy who doesn't like life anymore. He just is gonna go into battle for the Emperor. And then here I also have a head from the, what are they called again? Fast Cavalry of the Empire in Warhammer Fantasy. So they have like these blunderbusses or repeater pistols, pistoliers. Pistolier kit, plastic head with a nice feather for the champion. And then we have the Memorians. So the fluff for my army would be that these Stormcast have fought so much that they have completely lost their souls and that they have turned into statues. The Memorians are actually humans that are still very much alive, and they're just honoring these statues, imbuing them with the power that they get. So I thought that was quite a cool link. Putting in some green flames there, just to make it tie up a bit more with the rest. Going for some very foresty tones. So it was automatic at the moment that I painted those, so I went for yellow and brown because that is what I saw outside. We have the Vanguard Raptors with their nice little bird. Finally, Games Workshop has come to senses, in my view, in the sense that a reinforced unit should only have 1 round base for the champion. I made this unit, I just put them on these oval bases and 1 champion round base, which was at that point not in line with the rules. Now it is. So, I mean, I got lucky, I guess. And then we have the Vanguard Paladors with the Javelins. And here I still have my Wizard. So I am playing Primal Energy, which means that I have the Gnashing Jaws and I have the Burning Head. This little dragon is going to be my Gnashing Jaws, and then I have this miniature from Crick's War Machine, which is basically a guy throwing burning heads, so that fits quite nicely. I mean, the base doesn't really fit, but whatever. So that's my Knight Arcanum, and then that is the entire army, yeah. So, how do you otherwise prepare for a tournament, you might ask? So this is my standard tournament set, more or less. There's a little bit more, but that's in the next picture. So I have my dice, quite important. I have different dice in there. So I used to have 20 of the green ones. I think I only have 19 now, and I have these bigger orange ones. So this allows for keeping track of wounds, the big orange ones. But it also allows for faster rolling, like for example for Liberate. I don't have Liberators with me, but they have 2 different profiles. So you can throw like 4 big ones, and then what is it? 15 small ones, 17 small ones, I think, because the different profiles. But then you can just roll it in one go. I have my 2 dice to keep track of my battle tactic, my victory points basically. So I have a D10 and a D100 that is divided in tens. So together I can go up to 50 points quite easily. I have 5 dice to indicate my command points, so these are very shitty dice with regards to the numbers they are printed on them, so I just took 5, and every time I use a command point I toss one to the side. And then that is very clear for me and my opponent. I always bring 2 measuring tapes. I would highly advise to bring 2 measuring tapes, because sometimes it's just easier to have a measuring tape lying out somewhere on the field. And then I have my tokens that I swap out for the different abilities that I have in my army. There's also people that use rewritable tokens, which is also really fair. I just have these old MDF chips that from another project I was doing. I had these remaining, and I was like, oh, might as well write on these. So I have a token for all out attack, all out defense, finest hour. So these are very generic ones. Then I have always strike first for the Quicksilver draft on my Lord Terminus. Shock and all for the Lord Terminus as well. The quest mark objective, this one can go on an objective in the quest of Soulsworn, get +3 control and a 5 ward save. And then I have my spells for -1 to wound, -1 charge die. There's also still the spell for, what is it, D3 damage with unlimited range. I don't have a token for that because it's just instantaneous and it's not a long-lasting effect. I think it is really valuable to have a set like this. Not only because otherwise with tokens I tend to forget stuff, even if it's like, yeah, this red colored token is +1 armor or something. Yeah, just write it on a token and it's very clear for everyone, even for judges as well. If they walk by, if you have a rule disagreement or whatever, and you just have your token out, then it just speeds up everything immensely. So to further extend the tournament, what I bring to tournaments is, here's my concise tournament set. I have my cards ready for the different units, so I have, yeah, everything there really. And in addition, I also this Christmas got a digital chess clock, yay! So I'll give that a swing and see how I like it. I've been playing with chess clocks a little bit by now, and usually time is not really an issue, but we're also not playing at that competitive level, I think, where that really could matter. I've played 9 days before, and there we should have used time clocks sometimes, because people did tend to just take half an hour for a single move. It's the worst that I've seen, but one unit moving can take like half an hour. And this is to finish up my tournament kit. So I have a movement tray ready for the entire army with a magnetic sheet in there, so that my models don't really fall that easily. I have my overview of my order battle tactics with universal battle tactics, so that I can easily refer to it, and I have some measuring sticks. I could still use some 3-inch measurement sticks, but I don't have them as of yet. So yeah, that is my entire kit that I will be bringing to Bloodstorm. If you're joining, then I hope that we meet each other on the battlefield. If you're not, please consider coming to Eindhoven, even for internationals. It's great fun. It's a great atmosphere, but it's usually quite often very quickly sold out. So maybe we should just look at bigger venues actually for this tournament. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and hopefully see you there.